On top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
The time has now moved on to 13 hours 1. With your news at this time, I'm Kevin Smith. Guyana's third major political force, the AFC, is willing to stand with the PPP to change the lopsided 2016 production sharing agreement with ExxonMobil. During a press conference on Friday, the party's chairperson, Catherine Hughes, explained that the group believes renegotiating the agreement should not be approached in an isolated manner, but the country's leaders should hold hands on the matter. Meanwhile, leader of the AFC, Kemraj Ramjatan, pointed out that the whopping 10 billion barrel increase in oil reserves in the Stabroek Block is more than enough reason to get the oil company back to the table. He added that while the AFC has already made its position clear about changing the contract due to the changed circumstances, he does not believe that General Secretary of the PPP, Bara Jagdeo, would be willing to move in this direction. Several stakeholders have in the past highlighted the importance of government and opposition working together on the management of the oil and gas sector. And ExxonMobil's affiliate, Esso, has moved to the High Court to appeal a $4.2 billion withholding tax assessment issued to it by the Guyana Revenue Authority for the period January 2020 to July 2021. In other news, during their clamp-down campaign, Nigerian authorities discovered an illegal pipeline that has been stealing crude for 9 years from one of the country's largest oil terminals. The shocking revelation was made on Tuesday by Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, Malim Mili Kyari. According to Nigerian reports, Kyari told the Nigerian Senate that the discovery of the 4-kilometer or 2.5-mile connection from the Forcados export terminal, which exports around 250,000 barrels per day of oil. Kyari said the major oil export terminal had its product diverted into the sea. And now let's tell you, G-Boats Incorporated, one of the companies providing marine transportation services to ExxonMobil affiliate Esso, has lost its appeal against a $773.5 million tax assessment issued to it by the GRA. The appeal was heard before Madam Justice Joanne Barlow and arose from GRA's assessment of the appellant's corporation tax liability in the sum of $773.5 million, dated March 2021 for the year of income 2018. Meanwhile, officials of the Guyana Revenue Authority on Friday reportedly intercepted an ambulance with several boxes of smuggled frozen chicken. It is understood that the driver of the ambulance is attached to the Skeldon Public Hospital, and he showed up there at approximately 3 hours and collected the keys for the vehicle from a security guard. The driver reportedly did not follow the standard procedure of signing for the key before he left. Sometime later, GRA officials acting on information located the ambulance and intercepted it at number 78 Village Rampur Upper Quarantine Berbice. There were videos that surfaced on social media of a heavy-duty Hymac pulling the ambulance from what appears to be a ditch. It is understood that the ambulance ended up there during a high-speed chase with the GRA officials. And now let's tell you, a businessman who is also an accounts teacher at an East Coast Demerara secondary school has been detained for allegedly sexually molesting a 14-year-old boy. Police have been silent on the matter, but Kaieteur Radio has been able to confirm that the man is currently in police custody. Based on the allegations, the man molested the boy in September. The boy's parents did not waste any time in lodging a complaint with the principal of the school. They were reportedly told that the man was sent on administrative leave to facilitate an investigation. However, the parents grew frustrated at the slow pace of the investigation and were enraged when they learned that there was an alleged attempt to transfer the teacher and cover up the matter. In a bid for justice, they decided to go public with the case, and after the allegations against the teacher began circulating, only then were the relevant authorities called in to investigate. The Child Care and Protection Agency is said to be playing a part in the ongoing investigation. It is understood that since the allegations against the school teacher went viral, more victims have started to come forward. And to wrap things up, when an oil conference is held in any country around the world, government officials turn up to these events, ready and willing to learn from the experience of others. We expect to see the same thing in Guyana, given that we are still a newcomer in the business, but instead of our leaders showing up eager to learn something new, no one bothered to participate. This is the view of Kaieteur News publisher Glenn Lal. Lal said government's absence from the seminar was an absolute embarrassment to the people of the country. He was at the time referring to a 3-day Guyana Basin Summit and Expo hosted at the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry at the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center in Georgetown. The event was hosted between October 4th and 6th last and was geared at forging partnerships between Guyanese and foreign investors. Lal pointed out during his program that all the officials responsible for the management of the petroleum sector, including President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat, and head of the Gas to Energy Project Winston Brassington, did not have the decency to show their faces. It was reported that Brassington was slated to be part of the discussion on the $2 billion gas to energy project that included a question and answer segment on day 2 of the conference. He was expected to be the lone local representative on that panel. However, investors who came to Guyana for the seminar were forced to speak to other foreigners in his absence. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.